Nerds and geeks back at it again. It is the legendary Nerd-O-Roundtable. Yours truly, King Nerdificent in the building, joined by Thomas Talking Cunningham. What it is, good sir?
What's up, man? I have my infinity ring on tonight so I can snap haters away.
Nice. You will need it. Mo Kelly in the building.
But if you know anything about the infinity ring, we'll just snap us all right back. So it doesn't matter.
Time
I don't know where yours is. I know where mine is.
Let me get my Doctor Strange.
I already got your stone, baby. It's right here.
Ah, damn. I love it. Today we got a whole lot from Daredevil season 2. They Will Kill You. We got a little bit of Invincible and so much more. Starting off with, because I was on this movie, I didn't know when it was dropping. I just knew that this movie needed to drop post haste. And we thought, from looking at the trailers for They Will Kill You, we thought that They Will Kill You was giving every single thing away in the trailers. And fantastically, to our surprise, They Will Kill You did not. There was so much more happening in that film that was quite a shock. Some people think that it's a horror film. It's not. It was just horrifically violent, as is the tradition with all grindhouse movies. You know, Tarantino tried to make a comeback, and Robert Rodriguez and a lot of directors from that era right there tried to come back with grindhouse movies. That is how we fell in love with Machete. So, you know, there is some familiarity with the genre, and this film, like all grindhouse films, it delivered on the gore, it delivered on the shock and awe. And like all grindhouse films, it was not a good movie. It was not a good movie at all. But I had so much fun watching it. It is a movie that is literally made for theaters. It is throw all sense of reality out the window and just go with it. Go with the blood, go with the flow, go with the madness, because it's like, I wish I would have seen this in a drive-through, because to me, I'm like, it's perfect for that. Plenty of jumps, plenty of oh my God moments. But as a movie, you know, story schmory, it's like, who cares? You know, heads are being chopped off and blood is literally spraying everywhere. It was absolutely insane. It's not going to win any awards except maybe a Razzie. It might win a Razzie. And Zazie Beetz is a bona fide goddess on the screen. Zazie Beetz is absolutely stellar. I will go and watch her paint a fence, and then also sit and watch her watching that paint dry, because she is stellar on screen. And this is yet to me another opportunity for us to bask in the future glory of this star. I don't know why she's just not more in more stuff. Maybe she's just like pick and choose, but damn, she's good. She's good. See this movie for Zazie and Zazie alone. Shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think in comparison to the original Grindhouse movies, it holds together a lot better. It's not a realistic story, but it's a story about devil worshippers who are in an expensive Manhattan condo. So that said, it establishes its rules and it follows its rules, and it's not exactly a linear film. It kind of follows the Tarantino trope from Pulp Fiction, where you start off and then you fast forward and then you come back and then you're dancing kind of back and forward into the past, which is why, despite the trailer giving away so many iconic moments in the film, it doesn't really give away the essence of the story, which is why she's there. The trailer would have you believe that it's complete happenstance that she's there, which would have made it even more ridiculous. But when you find out why she is there, and that, I want people to go see it, because it is definitely worth it. To the extent that in the first 10 minutes of this is a movie that gets right to it. It's a lean 90. There's not much to cut. It's a 90-minute film, And y'all were complaining about Hail Mary being an hour too long. This ain't an hour too long. If it was an hour too long, it'd only be 30 minutes. It would be an episode of Black Mirror. So I have to say, watching it, and pretty much from the moment she sets foot into the condo, or the co-op, I guess you'd call it a co-op, that first murder scene is absolutely brutal. And there's a death in that first scene that is absolutely shocking, because it's like Sean Bean getting killed in Game of Thrones. Like you just would not expect that a star, and granted, he's not like the biggest star in the universe, but he's a very recognizable face, and he's well cast in the role that he's cast in. And so to see that person get offed in the first 5 minutes, you're like, wow, okay. And then there's a little bit of a twist. And so it introduces one of the more fantastical elements of the movie. And without giving too much away, I will say that there are some pretty clever conceits about how things work in this movie. There's a bit of a Deadpool aspect to it. And there's one scene in particular where a character is seen, and their appearance is as one would expect. It follows the rules very well in terms of that. But Zazie Beetz is incredible. And I would say the first scene where the first big Grand Guignol takes place, and then the last scene, which takes place kind of like in this altar in the top floor of this co-op, is pretty amazing. Once the other lead character has to combine forces with literally Satan, there's some really, really good sword fighting and fast paced, and she skitters on the floor, and lots of really cool stuff going on. They kind of telegraph what happens at the end, but I mean,
very much so. There were no surprises. Nothing. You didn't walk away going, what? No.
Yeah. But that said, there is more art here than just an original Grindhouse movie. The original Grindhouse movies were marked by low budgets, an utter lack of storyline, and just hatcheting and killing people in ways that were designed to shock. This has a lot of humor written into it. Patricia Arquette's character actually has a bit of an arc, and she's not a completely horrible person. She does love her life partner, and they did face some stuff early in their relationship. And again, I'm dancing around things to allow people to derive some enjoyment in it.
If you try to reveal too much, then you ruin the movie.
And I don't want to do that. Yeah. So the point is that if you are a person who I have been saying it's Kill Bill meets, like I saw somebody said Evil Dead. There's a particular aspect of it that is Evil Dead adjacent that I get, not from the kind of the Deadites. You could say it's kind of an Evil Dead thing, but it's really, to me, it's really like Pulp Fiction maybe meets Rosemary's Baby is perhaps a better comparison, because it does take place in Manhattan. There's a lot of demonic occupants of the co-op, and the A-linear or Kill Bill meets meets Rosemary's Baby, because the blood in it, the murders in it are very reminiscent of the bride going up against the Crazy 88s or the gang.
A lot of the action and a lot of what we see is similar to the majority of those fight sequences in that film. You can tell this is a director that is definitely influenced by the Tarantino style of storytelling and the way things move, character introductions and plots and things like that. And again, look, I recommend it just if you just want to go and watch a movie that's just fun. It is a really, really fun movie. And when I say it's not a good movie, that isn't to say it's a bad movie. It's just, it's a movie that you will groan. you will say, ah, come on, because there is a stretch in the middle that just defies all reality. For me, I would have rather personally that they played it straight and it was just a nonstop flow of blood and guts and glory, and they could have left out that one part that ties into the demonic nature of the occupants of this building. I would have preferred that it just be just some nonstop floor by floor carnage, and they could have done some things that I was looking for, maybe something a little more similar to, I mean, maybe even the Judge Dredd movie with Carl Urban, where he was going floor by floor and facing off against different residents of that tower and just offing them in just ridiculous ways. I was looking for a little more of that, and I see why they did what they did. So it's not even a takeaway or complaint. It's just I was maybe looking for something a little different. But all in all, I walked out there and I felt like that was A-list worth it. It was actually worth the A-list. And to me, like,
question.
That's something that I actually do think you go to a movie theater for, because the theater that I was in, the audience was out of control. There was a whole lot of screaming and jumping and hollering and just people talking to the screen. It felt like going to the movies in the 80s. And I think that's what I liked about it. I was like, man, this feels like going to the dollar theater in the 80s, watching Evil Dead or watching something like that. You're just laughing, cracking up at how crazy a movie this is. So yeah. Definitely recommend it. Definitely recommend it. And again, Mo, it's not a horror film. It is just horrifically violent. It does have some great jumps. Has some great jumps.
But when you say, but see, that to me is a horror film. When you say horrifically violent, and splitting people's throats and blood everywhere, that to me is a horror movie. I like movies which are psychological thrillers. Like, for example, I'm a kid who appreciates the quote unquote horror, because it was considered a horror movie back in 1982, of Poltergeist. There's some jump scares. There's real danger, but it's not gore. I'm not a fan of slashers and gore and more blood and everything. That doesn't do anything for me, because I know around every corner, someone's going to get offed in the worst way and make me jump out of the seat. That's not enjoyable for me. I like the thriller portion of it. Silence of the Lambs was a thriller, a psychological thriller talking about cannibalism and multiple serial killers. Those are the movies that I dig. Saw 1 through 9, don't give a shit. Don't care.
Nah, this is not for you then. Nah.
Well, okay. So in defense of this, Saw is different than this movie for a critical reason, which is Saw is a gory film, and it's a part of a very particular genre. You could say there's a lot of body horror in it. But this movie has a lot of humor. And so the violence in most ways, and I don't think I'm giving too much, the violence in most instances doesn't really have any consequences.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot more like cartoon violence than violence for, like in Saw, people are getting limbs chopped off and they're screaming in agony. This is not that. Even though
this is more in the vein of the Kill Bill, when she's going through the crazy eights and just, doing windmills around the floor and taking off legs.
Yeah.
It's that where you say like, oh, this is hilarious.
But see, it's really, to be honest, it's a lot more like Tom and Jerry than that. And I don't want to get into why.
But very cartoonish.
When the first 5 minutes first 10 minutes teach you something about this movie that changes the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
So yes, there's a lot of really bloody stuff, but the humor in it helps you get beyond it, because again, in those torture porn movies, you have a sadistic person who's doing these horrible things. In this movie, it's not that. And the people who are as is obvious in the trailer, the people who are receiving the violence are actually, you're fine with it because they're bad people. But I don't want to give it away. It is definitely worth seeing. If it's A-list, it's a must-see because I can think of fewer better uses of 90 minutes than enjoying Zazie Beetz kick ass. And she is very much like the bride in her stamina, in her resilience, in her ability to recover from injuries that, other would put down other people. And they do, a quick and dirty job of explaining why she's as durable as she is. Well, not even why she's as durable as she did, why she's as deadly as she is, not why she's as durable as she is. But at the end of the day, there aren't any really bad performances. There's not enough character development to have you say, oh, that person is bad. And you've got a lot of name actors sprinkled in with some faces who, are effective at their roles. So I think it's worth seeing. And I had literally seen Ready or Not 2 the week before. And this is more enjoyable than Ready or Not 2. Ready or Not 2 is more complex. Ready or Not 2 benefits from having the backstory that we know from the first movie with Samara Weaving. So, there are some differences there. But I had more fun with this movie than I did with Ready or Not 2. And Ready or Not 2 was not a bad sequel. Let me just say that. I did enjoy it. But
and you will have fun watching it. I'm telling you, Mo,
yes.
You will have. It is a fun movie, despite all the gore. As Tom said, it is almost necessary gore. When you see what's happening, you're like, yeah, you have to go hard. And it's worth seeing Zazie Beetz dispatch people over and over and over again in all the creative ways that she does. It is phenomenal. It is phenomenal in that sense, and absolutely worth watching. I enjoyed seeing it on the big screen.
Yes.
I got a kick out of it, and again, this is one of those movies that, to me, the audience helped make the vibe, because it was just, we were all feeling the same things when this was going. And it was interesting because I bought my ticket. I was the only person that bought a ticket, so I was like, man, it's gonna be empty. But by the time showtime started, that theater was packed. So I don't know if word of mouth got out, and I saw it Saturday evening. Yeah, I saw it Saturday evening. So for me, I was like, but when I bought tickets, I was the only seat, and I purchased the ticket at around maybe 3:00 in the afternoon. And I was driving, I dropped my son off in Westminster and was driving back to LA. I said, you know what, let me buy a ticket real quick just because I got time now. Boom, bought it. It was for 7:00. And by the time I got to the theater, a guy that walked in there, and it was like me, and I saw one other person. I'm like, oh, someone else decided to buy a ticket. The next thing I know, by the time trailers hit, every seat in there, with the exception of a few in the very, very front, was packed. It was packed. And the audience was decidedly goth. I thought that was interesting. A lot of young goth people in the audience, and I didn't know if this is a film that maybe within that community they all knew about, and they were all telling each other. And not that the film is gothic or anything like that, but it's just that was a majority of the people that were in there. A lot of black painted fingernails and eyeliner and all black clothing with this, that, or other punk rock band. I'm like, it's still a thing. They were there. Lots of them were there.
I don't even think that the word is goth anymore. They have like these little and they have rap artists, like the dude who is allegedly accused of killing that young little 17-year-old.
Fort David, what his name is?
Yeah, him.
There's a word. There's a phrase for him.
He's a freak, but yeah.
Well, but he makes music.
They're not goth anymore.
No, there's a whole new phrase. No, he is a rap artist. I know I was right. He's a rap artist. Now, granted, he doesn't come onto my, because that's not my thing. But they have had their whole little transcendence of there's a little caveats here. So I'm not surprised at all.
No, look, they were in there. They were deep off in there. I don't know. So we have some weirdos in the chat tonight. I'm
We
going
sure
to
do.
delete that comment too. All right. On to and you know it's crazy. I swear we talked about it, but last week we had got into the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer, which is why I thought like we had to have talked about Daredevil, but Daredevil came out this week, and we had not had a chance to talk about the glory that is Daredevil Born Again Season 2. Look, I was fortunate enough to get the hookup to see this, and it chef's kiss. Okay, chef's kiss. This is reason enough. At least this show is reason enough to sign back up for Disney Plus, because damn it, what they did in just this first episode was so stellar. Something that absolutely came out of this first episode, Tom, is that when they explicitly connect Daredevil to Val, when they connect this world directly to Val and the larger MCU that is happening in the same New York, Val is connected to Kingpin now, is connected to this New York. There is no way you move forward with the MCU without explicitly including Matt Murdock in it, because they've done that. It's not us. They name dropped Val in a major way. They name dropped Val's connection to Kingpin specifically. So there is no way that you can move forward. And this is a film that we can now see the trajectory of it. Yes, if Spider-Man comes out 6 months after the events of this, Daredevil's got to be walking down the street or something. It's got to be walking down the street. That's all I'm saying.
See, this
it's also connected to the other you know it. Okay, well then I have a question. Go for it, Mo, because I actually do have a question.
One thing I like about this iteration of Marvel television is, to Wallace's point, it's explicit in its mention and name dropping, but it's not just for gratuitous sake. I'll give you an example. When you had Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they make reference to Thor, but it didn't make, those worlds never collided. The agents never really existed within the MCU, with the exception of Agent Coulson. That's it. And, there was no overlap. Here, they're learning, and they're actually using the television as a vehicle to further promote the MCU. That's something they hadn't done before, and they didn't even do it with the Netflix series. And that's why I am all in on Daredevil, because I know what is happening in this series matters for the future movies.
Because so then my question becomes for Val, because Val is a character that also comes up in, she becomes really prominent in what is it? No, not, eventually, but it's the other one, the
Thunderbolts,
the TV show,
Hawkeye. She's been in everything.
Yeah,
in Hawkeye. Was she in Hawkeye?
Yeah.
But she was in. But she's important.
Captain America and the Winter
Captain
Soldier.
America. She's important into when we get our new Captain America, right? I'm curious, because what do we think about the Thunderbolts consequently? Because it seems like that's going to be where the new turn would be. So is the Thunderbolts going to clash with the Murdoch? Do we think?
No, they're fighting bigger threats.
Yeah, they're fighting. They are fighting world-ending threats. That's why I thought like Daredevil making an appearance, if it's an end credit scene, if it's something, because they did do a lot of reshoots with Spider-Man Brand New Day. Daredevil is still connected to street level events, street level things that are happening, and that's why the world that he's existing in is really just focusing and occupying just street level crime. It's not and really and truly, even in the comics, like Daredevil was not a participant in any real world ending events. When there were things that were impacting all of New York, yeah, you would see how these things would affect Daredevil in his world, but it wasn't like the Avengers were ever like, hey, get Daredevil up here. No, Spider-Man, yeah, Spider-Man, they would always call. And Spider-Man was an honorary
But
Avenger for the
are
longest. But
Thunderbolts world-ending events? Because I didn't get
Yeah.
that vibe from Thunderbolts.
Well,
You
the
thought so?
void was poised to destroy New York, and he could
That's
have destroyed the entire planet if they hadn't stopped him. So Sentry is on paper the physically strongest character in the MCU, perhaps countered by Rune King Thor, which hasn't really ever Rune King Thored. But
Okay, so was that
he's
our
very strong.
criticism of Thunderbolts? Was that there was no larger?
No, my criticism was that it was ass, but I didn't think there was enough to the character, and with a character like the Sentry, you can't spend 80% of the movie with him unpowered and then power him up and depower him in the last 15 minutes. That's just it just doesn't work. And so and these characters on the whole, it was like 5 super soldiers.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying like the fact that the Thunderbolts, which is the asterisk of the new Avengers, they're not in the fact that they didn't really call in a quote unquote real Avenger.
No, but that's what Val was doing.
Val was trying to rebrand to rescue her situation.
Yeah,
they weren't really
positioning them to be the Avengers, and we also we do not know who Sam Wilson has recruited. They have been very tight-lipped as far as who Sam Wilson has recruited for his Avengers, because if Sam Wilson, if it's just him and Falcon, and who else would he have? I mean, really, like,
well, Shang-Chi, I guess you could
possibly.
I'm not saying I'm not saying that's the way to go. Doctor Strange.
I mean, he could. We don't know who he's.
I mean, eventually
in.
Spider-Man.
We only know one person that he's down with, or that's down with him, and that is really just Falcon. We don't know who else he's potentially reached out, and he may have, of course, because he is Sam Wilson, he would obviously have more pull to get some of the other folks involved. If Wong is even interested in joining up in the team, he's never seemed to be the type to want to join a team. Could be a good addition. But we'll see, because there are a lot of players in the field that could join Sam's team. So we'll see when they come together. I know that in the news that just dropped regarding Doomsday, you have the people that we've seen. These are the primary players that play a role in Doomsday, all the cast that they've announced, while Secret Wars is supposedly going to pull in a lot of characters that we have not seen yet. The Secret Wars is supposed to introduce characters that we are maybe aware of, and characters that Marvel has the rights to, but Secret Wars is going to pull in a lot of characters that we are not going to see in Doomsday at all. So Secret Wars plays an entirely different role in this films.
So we're not seeing the new Avengers in Doomsday, correct?
We don't know. We don't know, because, well, I'll say this.
No,
we do know that some of them are there. We know that Falcon and Captain America are in it. We just don't know who else they have on their side.
No, I'm talking about the new, not those Avengers.
Yeah, no, they're in it. Yes, the Thunderbolt Avengers, they're in it too.
Yeah, there have been people that were announced from that was in a lot of them were in the first casting announcement. It's just a big laundry list. So Widow is in it, Bucky is in it,
all the Thunderbolts are in it.
Yeah, all
the Thunderbolts at least are in it, along with the primary players from Wakanda, Shuri and M'Baku. We have Namor and Namorda. They're both in it. We have Wong is in it. Of course, now they're saying that the reshoots that they're doing right now, believe it or not, they are doing some last minute reshoots, because in looking at the story, They said they have decided that they need to add Spider-Man into it. So they said they're doing these reshoots to add a significant Spider-Man scene, which they've now worked that it's better to introduce him in this film and possibly an end credit scene. I don't know how they're going to go and reshoot entire scenes to cut into this movie. It sounds more like they're going to shoot a reshoot for an end credit scene that would tie directly into Secret Wars. So that would, that would make sense. But the cast, I mean, we will be figuring out why the people that have been chosen are in this one, and why it's being, kind of teased that the people that we're going to see in Secret Wars are not people that will be featured in this. So is Secret Wars a battle to save these individuals? Does Doomsday get these individuals disappeared, and the only way to bring them back is through this secret battle where they are taken to a war world, so to speak, to have this battle? Will we see the Beyonder? Which to me, it's the original Secret Wars comes from the Beyonder pulling these random individuals to come and fight, and just he was on just this power trip of like, I'm bored. I'm an interdimensional, intergalactic god, and I can do whatever I want. So I'm just pulling everyone, and y'all just gonna fight. We'll see. I know that the Russos, they have long claimed that Secret Wars is their favorite comic of all time, their favorite comic storyline. So we'll see how close they'll stick to the story.
Did they say whether or not their Secret Wars that they found to be their favorite was the first Secret Wars or the second Secret Wars?
The first.
Okay.
The first. Yeah, not this newer one that came out.
Key characters to replicate the first.
Yeah.
Unless some things change.
Yeah, Tom, good and well, some dead characters are coming back, and some characters who've not been in the MCU are going to be coming in. So I don't think
absolutely.
It's going to make any difference.
Well, Scarlet Witch, apparently, Elizabeth has confirmed that she's back.
Yeah.
So,
and I'm going to tell you,
that she was ever gone.
Our Oscar winner is coming in one way or the other.
They have to now. They have to.
And especially
unless they're making space for Damson Idris, though.
No. You could do both. You could have Killmonger and the new Black Panther. We're talking about this multiverse. So it's not either or. It could be both and.
I think I really believe, unless they go completely wild in Doomsday, I think they're probably going to save Damson for Secret Wars. Because if it really kind of depends on how they're doing Doomsday. If they were doing Doomsday as kind of like a Doom takes over the world sort of thing, like he's done 6 or 7 times, then it might be different. But if they're going with the story where he literally rewrites reality and makes everybody into this feudal medieval world that he's kind of the king of, and everybody's identities are kind of rewritten, then it would be easier to accelerate the Prince of Wakanda into the King of Wakanda for the purposes of that.
No, I think you're missing the point. We're talking about Michael B. Jordan.
I understand. That's why I'm saying. That's why if Killmonger, you have to decide from a storytelling standpoint, and I think this would affect Coogler, because unless you bring him back to kill him again, it would directly impact what Coogler would have to do for Black Panther 3. If Killmonger is alive again, and there's no way that Coogler's favorite actor isn't going to be a part of the new Black Panther script. There's just no way. And to me, when Black Panther 3 has to be about the new Black Panther, do you rehash almost a beat for beat story, unless Killmonger is completely rewritten and has a new lease on life. And so he actually is like, Robin to Damson's Black Panther. And I just don't see that for that character.
Look, but they've already opened the door when you have Kelsey Grammer, Beast, and you have these, not Earth 616, but the other Earths. Right. You can write it in where Killmonger makes an appearance in Doomsday, whether he's the same Killmonger from the first Black Panther or not. I'm just saying you can do it and have him around for both movies, because nobody is actually eternally dead. We know Tony Stark, I didn't say Doom, Tony Stark is coming back.
Possibly, but that's I don't know if anyone wants that. I don't know if anyone really, really,
me tell
really
you
wants to
something.
see Killmonger come back. I mean, it's like it's not like
Liz, get
that
him.
I
not.
disagree. I fundamentally
it's not.
disagree. And I'm going to tell you, and I said this in the last movie, that Michael B. Jordan was going to pop up. Even though he didn't pop up how I wanted him to, that man is going to show his face. And the thing is that Michael B. Jordan, let's keep it all the way 100, is a Michael B. Jordan as a character, as a person, is non-problematic versus the person who plays Shuri. The person who plays Shuri has had some problematic
Letitia
things
Wright.
that happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
she had some
she's
problems.
still in the movie. Like that's
I
not
get
here or there.
My point is that Michael B. Jordan is a person. If we had to choose one, Michael B. Jordan is going to show up. He is the Oscar winner.
Yeah,
the
that's
only
wish
other
casting.
Oscar winner is
That's
Robert
pure wish
Downey
casting.
Jr.
Liz,
And they're
Liz,
going to
you're right.
find a way.
It's pure wish casting.
I know she's wish casting, but she's right. You have an Oscar winner who's at
That
the
doesn't.
top of
What
his
does that?
game.
What does that mean? That means nothing
What
for
I'm
the
saying,
story.
it means box office.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't. If it was meaning
okay.
box office, we'd already see it.
No,
Let's be clear. In
You're
a movie with a cast this large, adding another Oscar winner is not going to put the butts in the seats. This is a huge movie with 70 damn
Michael
actors
B.
in
Jordan is on path
You-
to be just
you
like
really
Michael
Will
B.
Smith.
Let's be clear about one thing.
Let's be clear about one thing.
Michael B. Jordan
not.
would not have been in the Black.
Yes.
Hold on. Michael B. Jordan would not have been in the Black Panther sequel if Chadwick Boseman hadn't died. The only reason he was in the sequel is because Shuri had to take the thing, and because they couldn't deal with Chadwick, they couldn't use Chadwick at all, and she was angry. They said, well, let's bring back the other guy we can bring back that was a fan favorite. And so he was brought back. That was a totally different script than what was intended for Black Panther 2. But when Chadwick died, then Michael B. Jordan, because he's a fan favorite, because they were killing the mom, because they had just killed off Boseman, it made sense to tether it to the first film. This is not, it was not an inevitable thing.
What movie has Coogler made without Michael B. Jordan? I'll wait.
Well,
what are you talking about?
He's about to make he's about to make X-Files without Michael B. Jordan.
No,
you think he's not going to show up?
He's attached.
He's attached as a producer.
As a producer.
Look, all I'm saying is
the two stars have been cast, and he's not one of them.
Yeah, they've already cast.
He's attached to the project in an acting capacity.
No, he's not. He is not attached in an acting capacity. He's not.
He's walking across that screen.
Okay, as a cameo, that's not the same. He's not the star.
But
yes, he has made a career.
All these characters are making cameo appearances in Doomsday and Secret Wars.
No, but I'm talking about on X-Files. No. All I'm saying is, yes, Coogler's only made 5 damn films. And yes, Michael B. Jordan has been an important part of all of them, although arguably Black Panther 2 he was not an important part of. That was a cameo. It was a cameo because his real star died. Point blank, period. That's it.
And he wasn't featured in anything. He wasn't featured in any of the marketing or promotion for Black Panther 2. And even though he was in it, it did not make people say, oh, now I've got to go see it. People wanted to go see Black Panther 2
now
just to go see it. It's not.
I mean,
our crowd went crazy.
You were arguing that Ryan Coogler directed Blade starred Michael B. Jordan, I would agree.
Look, and not only that, there is no reason on planet Earth to have a cameo of Michael B. Jordan doing Killmonger coming back. There is no reason.
Okay, did you guys actually see? Didn't we not watch the animated film, the animated series?
What If?
And who was in What If?
Michael
B. Jordan.
What If is not connected to the
and his
MCU
character got killed,
TV or film. It's not.
Again.
But he's still there.
It's not.
Like,
I understand
that was good for
I will
What
die
If
on this hill.
You all were
Michael B. Jordan will show up.
Chadwick Boseman had a cameo.
I'm gonna cook it up
in the first one.
That's fine. The last time The last time I said he was gonna show up, I said he was gonna be Black Panther, but I was wrong. But he did show up, and I was like, I eat half of the crow pie because the man showed up.
Let me just
You
say
ate
this.
not yet. You
Let-
ate
let me-
70%.
You were
And now he
completely
is an
wrong
Oscar
about Black
winner.
Widow.
The
That's all I'm saying.
timing is right. You have a major Marvel movie coming out in, I don't know, 7 months. And you have another major Marvel movie in a year and 7 months. There's no way that they're going to pass up the opportunity to put now one of the biggest stars in the world in one, if not both of those movies. I think it would be a missed opportunity not to do it.
Look,
I think
then it'll
Secret
just be a
Wars
missed
is
opportunity.
more likely than Doomsday. Just because I don't
Okay, then 3
see
movies.
you doing reshoots to add Killmonger to Secret Wars. And I don't believe
said
Killmonger
who?
was a consideration.
He
when they
could be
finished-
coming as Black
before they
Panther
finished.
in an alternate universe. He kills T'Challa.
Again, a brief scene, and I don't think you're having another T'Challa killed when you're trying to introduce the new T'Challa. I just don't buy it. If it's a different Killmonger,
why would you?
If it's Killmonger as Black Panther, who gets killed? Maybe, but in a film not directed by Ryan Coogler, why would Michael B. Jordan appear to be in it for 30 seconds or
Because
a minute?
it's Marvel.
Screen time?
In a way that Kelsey Grammer was in it for 30 seconds. It doesn't have to be a major role.
But
It was
Kelsey
just one of
Grammer
those
is also
wow
Kelsey
factors.
Grammer's being reintroduced as the Beast from that continuity.
No, but my point is there is a multi-universe facet to Doomsday.
You're talking
We
about
know that.
multi-universal people that are alive, though. Killmonger is not alive. You're talking about
No,
a
in
multi-universe.
616.
No,
he's not alive.
No. In 616, in any unit, and he's only from the 616. They're not bringing in alternate universe versions of people. They're not bringing in a beast from another universe because there's a beast in the 616 already. No, they're bringing in characters from the various universes that they already exist in. They're not creating people. They're not saying, let's go and get Miles Morales just because we know somewhere, somehow he exists. They're not doing that.
Are you sure about that,
There's no point of bringing in a dead character. He is dead. They're not going back in the past and bringing characters from the X-Men.
Are you sure that Black Widow's not going to be in it?
Because I know she's in some recent pictures.
Yelena,
that's my point. Thank you, Liz.
No, in recent pictures of what, Liz?
Of them with sitting with the cast.
Yes.
Look, we'll see.
Y'all
it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see. There's going to be another trailer.
When this happens
sometime
with me
after
and Mo, y'all gonna apologize to us.
No,
Listen,
I'm going to serve you both a healthy slice.
All the actors are lying. James Marsden was just in an interview saying he intentionally lied about not being in Doomsday. You cannot trust any of the public and published reports because everything's so under wraps. I think they're putting out all stops for this.
I think Garfield said the same thing. But again, all I'm saying is I would not dismiss the idea of a cameo just because this is a stunt movie, period. But as a substantive addition in any way that presages a return to mainstream continuity in any important capacity?
No, I don't need the latter. Yeah, we're not arguing the latter.
I mean, he might make an appearance. I just don't know why Michael B. Jordan. I don't know what the next thing. Is there a Creed? There's a Creed 4 in the works, right?
Creed 4, but no. Right now, he's doing. He's full steam ahead with the remake of Thomas Crown.
Oh, Thomas Crown.
Thomas Crown, and he's doing Rainbow Six. Those are
the second revival of the Thomas Crown affair.
Yeah.
Who knew that was that important?
This is he's heavy on this one. He's heavy on it. Got his executive producer hat on. Yeah.
I'm sure it did.
I need more money.
I might actually feel better about it if Coogler were directing it because I don't know. The teeth are awfully big for
that's fucked up.
Is it?
Yes, it is fucked up.
No,
I mean
he can't get jaw work. There's nothing he can do.
There's nothing. The teeth will be fine. All right.
I'm sure.
So says Liz. So says
Listen,
Liz.
I am no Lori Harvey. The man is on cloud 9 career-wise. Go on ahead, do your thing. If it's a Michael B. Jordan movie, I'm gonna see it. I see the stuff and everything that he's done with Coogler, even the Creed stuff he did without Coogler. The Creed movie he directed himself. I went and saw. So he's doing his thing. I just don't believe that there's going to be anything of substance. And they're probably going to 3D AI animate Stan Lee up into this bitch somehow.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be of substance. It could be a fleeting scene. It could be literally 30 seconds. I'm just saying.
That belies. But if it's a fleeting scene, it's not going to be a big marketing push, and it's not going to be a driver. So his Oscar worthiness is immaterial.
Yeah,
it's going to be
fleeting
scene.
It will be a fleeting scene for the purpose of him being a popular character in the MCU.
Being an Oscar winner for 30
How many
seconds
times have we
nothing.
seen movies? I will say Elizabeth has seen movies simply based on 1 or 2 added scenes. So that is not.
Which movie have you seen for 1 added scene from an Oscar winner?
No. Think about this.
No, this is not your argument, Mo. This is what Liz just said. You went to go see movies for 1 or 2 added scenes.
Yes, I have seen. How many times have they re-released a Marvel movie in the theaters for 1 or 2 added scenes, and it brought me to see it.
They haven't re-released a whole lot of Marvel movies with added scenes.
Yes, they had. They released Endgame with an added scene, and I went and saw
that's
it.
one. That was the most profitable movie.
There were literally 2. There was Endgame and there was the Spider-Man movie. That's only 2. So we can't say that like that's a thing that happens, Liz.
Okay, but you had seen the movie already.
Liz,
and did they add a character that wasn't in it before? Or did they just add a scene?
No. Look,
they did both.
Marvel has had a history of using Oscar winners in ways that people didn't expect. Matt Damon, perfect example. You can have these people in the movie not have a major role, but they add cachet when people realize, oh shit, so-and-so is in it. That's all I'm saying.
But that's okay, but that's not going to sell any tickets. And if they do that, sure, does it do anything for the story?
As soon as the word gets out, yes, it will, Tawala.
The film is already going to sell.
Nobody saw Shang-Chi because of his Oscar.
And no one will. And the point is there is no point story-wise for adding him into it because he's not going to be consequential to the future of the stories. The other characters that they are going to be consequential because they are doing films with those characters.
Consequential to the future of the Black Panther universe in Wakanda forever.
But he was there.
He was in the sense that he did have to set Shuri on her way.
He was replacing Chadwick Boseman.
Yeah, but Doomsday is fan servicing, and if we agree that it's fan servicing, they're going to be a shitload of characters who may not be central to the storyline, but it gets people to cheer like, oh my gosh, they got so-and-so and so-and-so. Where like in Avengers Endgame, you had basically the girl power when you brought together all the female characters and they're marching together. I expect scenes like that where you could have Killmonger. I'm just talking off the top of my head. Killmonger and Black Panther and maybe Reed Richards fighting side by side. That would be some cool shit. This movie's about cool shit, not necessarily forwarding a story. That's why you have 11 different characters in this movie. Half of them aren't essential. Most of them are probably going to die. But that's why people are going to see the movie.
And how many times have we sat on when we talked about Avengers Endgame and we looked at that final fight scene and we were looking for who was in the final fight? Oh my gosh.
But we literally knew that everybody who died in the first one in Infinity War was coming back. So of course you were looking for everybody. Because everybody had died.
We were looking for people who weren't even there.
Here's another reason why it's unlikely for Killmonger to make an appearance. Because the people from 616 who are Wakandan would have to react to the presence of Killmonger. And it would derail so much. It would derail that whole thing. You got Shuri, you've got Okoye, and you've got M'Baku. If you throw Killmonger in and you don't have Killmonger interact with any of the Wakandans, what is the point? And 2, that becomes the thing. Okoye has to go after him. because she thinks he's come
every
back to
single
life.
person.
I'm riding with
did,
you on this one.
He did not die a hero in the
He didn't.
616. He died
He
a
was
villain.
murdering
And neither
Wakandans.
did
He was
Loki.
murdering Dora Milaje.
Loki did not. That's for sure.
Loki did not die a hero.
In the end, he
Thank you
did.
very much.
Yes, he did.
In Ragnarok, he did.
He absolutely
saved
did.
Thor,
He sacrificed his life to Thanos.
He did.
He did not
He
die
did.
a hero.
But
His
but
death
the
was
other
still-
Avengers did not like him. Did not believe that he was still.
Thor did.
He showed
Only
up.
Thor, because that was his adopted brother.
But
Okay.
guess what? He
But the
didn't
audience
come
was
back
with
in
Thor
the
when that happened.
MCU at all. He never came back to the MCU. He was only in the Loki series, which took place outside
And he's going to be in
the larger
Doomsday.
MCU.
Yeah,
Right.
But that's what I'm saying.
Because even still,
you try to have it both ways,
he
Koala.
went out. No, he
he's
went
not,
out
because
a
you had
hero.
2 seasons of Loki being a hero for
2
audiences.
seasons, and in
No,
the end of
what I'm
Loki,
saying,
he
he
became
said
a
that-
hero.
No,
In the
Koala
end of
said
Loki.
you're basically saying if you're killed off in the MCU, there's no reason to bring them back. And I'm saying Loki was killed off in the MCU. He's 616 universe. He's coming back.
In the 616, he died a hero. In the 616,
Right.
he died a hero to
The
everyone that
Hans-
was on the ship, and he
No,
died a
but-
hero because Thor saw him. Thor saw his sacrifice. Did he not?
And it's
Did
the
he
same
not?
thing with Scarlet
And-
Witch.
and-
Scarlet
and-
Witch destroyed the temple to keep Shaitan from coming in. She woke her senses after seeing them kids, and she scared the kids. And so she sacrificed to keep Shaitan from coming back to Earth. And as a sacrifice, now she's worthy again. And so it makes sense. Also, she's too super fucking powerful.
y'all bugging. You have an unproblematic, likable man with an Oscar.
Okay,
And
hey,
you're not
sure,
gonna
Killed
figure out
his
how to
own girlfriend
reincorporate
and
this
destroyed
man into-
Wakanda and tried to
You're not gonna-
kill
That's
the
fair, but you
entire
don't
planet.
figure
And
out
how
a way
many,
to
how
bring
much
him
shit
back.
did Loki do? How many
Look.
times did he betray people? How many hundreds of thousands of people did he kill on Earth?
And we got
I'm
16 episodes of
He
him
did not
being
kill
a hero.
hundreds and
You're
thousands of people. man.
bugging.
No,
It
no.
wasn't hundreds of thousands.
No, I'm thinking about the Chitauri. They had to kill
the
thousands
Chitauri.
of people.
Yeah,
Okay.
thousands, not hundreds of thousands, though.
I don't know. It's New York.
Look, and possibly, and look, and when
The
it
void
doesn't,
killed
and
more.
when it doesn't happen, we can go back to this episode.
We can.
That's
and
fine.
we can
And
even
I'm-
replay
but I'm- my
all
point
of
to
the
you is-
wrongness that y'all
Okay,
are
but
spitting.
my point is that there is no rhyme or reason why the MCU would not figure out a way to use an unproblematic black man who is hot, even Variety had to eat crow and did a whole article saying that this is going to be your next Will Smith.
You're connecting
there is
dots that
no-
don't exist. You're connecting dots
You-
that don't exist.
Preach.
You're going to use him. Like
Preach,
you're going to
yes.
figure this out
You're
in
gonna
a
have
way
that
to use this
conversation.
man.
Yes.
Look, sure.
He doesn't. He's so
Look,
unproblematic.
the only thing I know for sure is
Sam.
that you're going to be mad when it doesn't happen, and you'll have every complaint. How do they do this? It doesn't make sense. It makes
Sam,
perfect sense. Why
even
not?
The character Sam in the real person, he's problematic. He don't like taking pictures with fans. Michael B. Jordan, I mean, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just, my point is that he's gotten on people's offside. Michael B. Jordan has done zero to get on anybody's offside. He is the least problematic, extremely likable. You're going to find a way to use this man in the MCU. I don't know
Killmonger's
how you
character
use
threatened
it.
to kill
It doesn't
every
have to
white
make
person
sense.
on the planet.
Look,
Killmonger's
the-
problematic as hell.
the wish casting you are doing right now is on Scarlet Witch level for sure.
And it can
You are
happen.
casting
gonna be in the movie too.
massive spell.
We know Scarlet Witch is. We'll see. Let's.
Dead ass Scarlet Witch. They can find a way. It's a
They can
movie.
find a way.
What is she, a Nexus being though?
All I'm
Yeah.
saying is we're talking about Doom.
I can't.
You know his
Sure.
character power set.
If you
But
can,
why would Dune?
It's not a why. I don't know the
Dune
story.
has an
I just know that
awareness
he can.
of who Killmonger would be.
Look, I have no idea how the story's going to go.
A character that's died in another universe that Doom would not need to care
this is
about.
superhero movies. It
Yes.
doesn't have to make sense.
If anything,
It does not
Killmonger
have to
would
make
want
sense.
or Doom would want Killmonger dead. And if it doesn't make sense, then that's going to be the biggest complaint. This literally made no sense. Why
It does
did you
make
put this
sense.
man in it?
Dollars make sense
Sense.
because the MCU is struggling in their own sense. They need dollars and cents. If they could find a way, they put this man in What If when they didn't need to.
Right.
What if it's animated?
Because it's
No,
Michael
but
B.
the point is
Jordan.
they
They use
recognize
his voice.
value. That's all we're saying.
Let's sigh.
And What If has seeped into the MCU before. So we all know that's part of the continuity that they will use and borrow from. I'm with Liz on this one. I'm 100%.
Because it
Yeah,
makes no
no,
sense
well, look.
financially. It makes no sense not to use the man.
Liz, what are you talking about? It makes no sense financially. This is not something. The tickets are already going to be sold. The
But I'm
tickets are
saying-
already going to be
but
sold.
look,
He
people are
brings
going to
in
see the
another
movie
audience.
I agree with you. But if you have the chance for the wow factor in the sense of Captain America wielding Mjolnir or something, those are the wow moments
Yeah.
that people remember and have these movies which are revered for. What we're saying is, and Liz, correct me if I'm wrong, it doesn't have to be a big part. It doesn't have to be a substantial part. It could be a fleeting moment, but you get 10, 15, 30 seconds of Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger. I don't care if it's a flashback. I don't care if it's or whatever. Okay? You find a way. You find a way. It's almost like the fugitive. Find that man.
Just like Zendaya. Why do you think, do we really need, I like Zendaya. Don't get me wrong. But do we really need Zendaya anymore?
She's
now
essential
that,
to the damn Spider-Man movie.
No, my point is now that we know that my point is Zendaya is now a force. So they're going to use the storyline that's going to include Zendaya, period. In this upcoming movie, you could have gone anywhere, which way but loose when it came to Spider-Man.
Liz, why would you do that? If she is Mary Jane, why would you do that? If the key,
not
if
Mary
the key
Jane.
relationship,
Point.
she is.
She's
She is.
MJ.
She is
She's
MJ.
MJ.
Huh?
She's
MJ.
MJ.
MJ is exactly who Mary Jane is. They're not recasting. They're not going to bring in some redhead
say
chick
that you
for
had
him.
to
to
recast.
Well,
play.
you're missing the point. Zendaya is a superstar, a global superstar now, with
She was-
2 movies coming out the same fucking day.
And she was already in Spider-Man. They're not casting her to because they want to put a.
All I'm saying, you're
global
going to
superstar.
use
You
what's available.
could have used a different story.
No,
Yes,
No,
there
you
was
can't,
no
because
other
in the
story to
last
do.
movie, his biggest arc was losing his girlfriend, and they're married now. What the
Okay.
fuck are we talking?
Okay,
like
Spider-Man.
that doesn't even make
Andrew
any
Garfield
sense.
lost which girlfriend?
This is Tom
Gwen Stacy.
Holland. This is the Tom Holland storyline.
That's my point. They
and
can always
this-
go in a different direction.
No, this storyline
No,
is continuing
because she's
the
still
exact same
alive.
story. Yes.
MJ
My
is
point
alive,
is-
and Peter Parker is the only one who
Zendaya
pining
is an
for the loss of that
important-
relationship.
Zendaya is Zendaya. She is hot. She's coming out with Euphoria. She's coming out. She has a new movie that's
that
coming out
literally
right now.
makes
She is.
no sense for this argument. You're literally
What are you
saying that they've
talking about?
only
She's
cast
a-
Zendaya
she's another
because she's hot.
unproblematic. Yes, she is
No, but
another
they didn't.
unproblematic.
That's not
She
what
was
it
in
is,
the
Liz.
second Spider-Man movie.
You're
If
literally
you guys
comparing
don't think
apples
that
and
this is-
oranges. She was in
No,
all of the
if you don't
Spider-Man
think that
movies.
this is not a
being
business
in the
decision.
movie.
Oh, she was
But
in the
Liz
first
is
one
getting
too?
to the point.
Yeah,
Liz
she was
is
in the,
trying
she
to
was
get
in
to
the
the
background.
point where
The
we
first
have
one,
a
when she said
major
her name was
global
MJ.
star. She is going to take up more room in any Spider-Man storyline. Yes, it fits given what No Way Home was. But I'm saying is, once you have these tools available, you utilize them. That's all we're saying. You got Zendaya, give us Zendaya.
That point does not matter in this argument because Zendaya's already a part of the storyline. She's already essential to the storyline of the entire Spider-Man storyline and has been from the beginning. That doesn't make sense for this argument. You're literally comparing
How
apples
about
and
this?
oranges in that.
Did you need to bring back Jamie Foxx as Electro? Did you need to?
You brought
Yes,
back all
because
of
you
the
brought
Spider-Man
back-
villains. Yes.
He was a
Yes.
villain.
No.
in the other universe.
What I'm saying is you could have had just Doc Ock and Green Goblin.
They wanted to do the whole Sinister
They
Six thing, and
wanted
they brought
to.
everyone back.
They
for that.
wanted to. All I'm saying, it wasn't essential.
Those are
They wanted to.
Those are still two different
Jamie Foxx
arguments,
is a
Mo.
star.
You're talking about people who are core
Thank
to
you,
the
Liz.
story, and
Oscar
you're talking
winner.
about people who they add in. Two different things. Because they brought in
It's a
also
star.
Defoe, who was fucking probably bigger than Jamie Foxx. Don't argue
Yeah,
and say
but you're
he's
gonna
not.
bring. I'm
The
not
point, no,
arguing that,
the
but I'm
point
saying
is
you're gonna
bringing
bring
in.
in
The point
people
is bringing in
to
cast
bring in
people
different audiences.
to play a specific role, and then you have a certain cast, people who are part of the franchise. Zendaya,
Okay.
Tom Holland, and Jacob.
Hey, Liz.
What's the name? Those are all people who
Hey,
are
Liz,
forward to
did
the
Jamie
essential
Foxx win an
story.
Oscar?
Yep.
Did Marisa Tomei win an Oscar?
Yep.
Oh, okay. I was just trying to be sure because the last I checked, that shit mattered. It mattered. Fuck y'all.
It's star quality.
Casted,
Yes.
having an Oscar doesn't get people cast in movies.
No, well,
that
I'm
literally
saying,
doesn't matter. What are you talking for these movies? What are you talking about? That's not essential to the story.
I didn't say it was essential. I'm saying
Mo?
it's value added.
Mo, I have Monique on the line. She'd like you to be her agent.
Well, okay. I don't want to respond because she takes hits.
Yeah,
But
I'm not gonna pile on.
I mean, I'm just saying the Oscar thing.
She stood in her way.
The Oscar
Zendaya has been a star
best.
since she was a teenager. And she's only continued to rise. She's had some box office stumbles, but she's also been in hugely profitable movies.
Angela Bassett.
Angela Bassett what?
Oscar.
I know.
Lifetime achievement, but still an Oscar.
Well, yes, she should have gotten it for What's Love Got to Do with It. But
all I'm saying is star power matters. It matters.
Star power matters, but
who are they now casting? They're casting Denzel Washington, right? I mean, aren't they in talks of Denzel Washington?
Yeah, he wants in on Black Panther.
That's been the rumor for the longest. We don't know if that's actually happening.
Yeah, I don't know that I want Denzel Washington in Black Panther. Unless he's an American.
Yeah, he doesn't do accents at all.
He doesn't.
No, he doesn't.
He's
like, I'm Denzel Washington.
Valiant effort. And his Mighty Quinn was atrocious.
Horrible. He can't do an African accent.
You trying to tell me?
He can't do a Greek accent, Roman accent. No,
I don't need that. I don't need that. He could be T'Chaka's grandfather and sit like Boss. He could do that.
If he just wants to sit back, but there's been no confirmation on him, but we know that there was talks, and that's all Denzel said is there were talks, and then he had to apologize for saying that they were talking. That's about the extent of it.
I don't dispute the fact that in a movie like this, if it makes sense, you might do something. But I also feel that this is another two-parter. And it's already a bloated runtime. And I find it difficult to believe that a stunt of bringing back a character who is dead and hasn't been germane to the plot, absent the death of Chadwick Boseman, which upset everything. But lacking that, we have a new Panther coming in. It draws focus from the new Panther launch. It would absolutely draw focus for all of the Wakandan-based characters if he has any role of any substance at all. And I just don't think that, because principal photography was done before he won the freaking Oscar. He won the Oscar 2 weeks ago. And principal photography was done. So
yeah, that's what we call reshoots. All right, let me look. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I got to get this off.
Has he been pulled from Thomas Crown to do reshoots with
it could be a one-day thing. Look, all I'm gonna say, hey Liz, get ready to applaud this. Anthony Hopkins, Odin, Oscar winner. Brie Larson, Oscar winner. Natalie Portman, Oscar winner. Christian Bale, Oscar winner. Kate Blanchett, Oscar winner. Mahershala Ali, Oscar winner. Olivia Colman, Oscar winner. Marisa Tomei, we told you about. William Hurt, Thunderbolt Ross, Oscar winner. Sam Rockwell, Oscar winner. Ben Kingsley, Oscar winner. Lupita Nyong'o, Oscar winner. Daniel Kaluuya, Oscar winner. Angelina Jolie, Oscar winner. Michelle Yeoh. I mean, I can go on and on.
Look, but you know, and Mo, you are being intellectually dishonest because we've had this conversation before, and you said the exact thing when I brought it up before, that now at one point in time, all of Hollywood was shitting on superhero movies. And what do we say, Mo? Because I'll tell you what we said when we talked about this same discussion, that now the Marvel universe has done so well that now you're bringing people in, because these are not people who gave a shit about these movies when they thought they were just superhero movies. But now that this is the only game in town, we said this on the Mo Kelly
but
show,
Michael B.
and later when Mo Kelly
has been
repeated the story,
involved from
where
the
we said
beginning.
that this is where you go now if you want to do anything where you are making money. And that's all that is. This is about them saying, you know what? These are the movies that work, because the
Daniel
bullshit
Kaluuya
movies
won
we were
his
doing
Oscar
don't
after
work.
he was in the
Oscar
MCU.
winners are coming
But
to
I'm
these
saying
movies
they
now.
would bring his ass back.
No, Oscar winners are coming to these movies now because they thumbed their nose at it. We saw all the arguments that they were trying to have online. Everything is all superhero, blah, 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 blah. And Jodie Foster, I hate superhero, blah, 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 blah. And that's all the shit.
But they
that
keep
were talking.
using
But you know
Michael
what?
B.
But you know
Jordan,
what
though.
they did?
Yeah.
They came in and they said, you know
They
what?
used him
If
once.
we want to be a part
Twice.
of anything big,
They
now we
used
got to
him
do a damn
once
superhero
after
movie.
his character died. They haven't
And
brought
They
him
didn't
back
What
have
If?
to.
They used Chadwick Boseman in that season of What If. What are we saying?
My
Well,
point is that they're going to keep using them until they can't.
They used both of the big actors from Black Panther when Chadwick
just
had
is
died
what
when
it
he recorded
is.
the voice work.
I don't,
They didn't use him in
I'm
season
gonna die
2.
on
They
this
didn't use
hill.
him in season 3. What are we saying?
I'm going to die on the hill because they're
I'm
going to
dying with
use
you on this
Michael B.
one, Liz.
Jordan.
I've got the shovel. Can we move
Yeah.
on? We're an
Yeah.
hour in
Yeah.
and 40 minutes into this foolishness.
Because it's the truth.
Whatever.
Absolute foolishness. Okay, quickly
Daredevil
before
is
we
still
get out of
good.
here.
And Daredevil
Um,
never gave us a bad episode, let alone
yeah.
season.
Look,
Right.
And that's what you were
Daredevil.
talking
Look,
about.
Daredevil is stellar. More Daredevil to come. Very curious as to where the story is going. I mean, we know what they're setting up, but there's so much hope and promise that's coming with Daredevil season 2. As far as who we may or may not see, I know Mike Coulter keeps teasing about conversations he's been having with Charlie Cox and how much how many ideas he has for his character and this, that, and the other. We'll see. So far all we know still is Jessica Jones. We saw the Bullseye tease, which was amazing. What he did in the end of that episode was absolutely stellar. We know that Punisher is not going to be in this season, but the same day that they dropped it, they also dropped the teaser poster for
season.
Punisher One Last Kill, which comes out shortly after Daredevil season 2 and right before Spider-Man. So it's nestled in right between these two. I think Daredevil ends like first week of May, and then Punisher One More Kill comes out like second week of May, and then we get straight into Spider-Man. So we've got some major hits coming our way. Am I the only one that watched Invincible season 2? Or is
I
this
watched the
season
first
4?
episode and I didn't care for it. I thought it was like,
Really?
come on. Yeah,
Okay.
and I really liked Invincible. It just feels like the story's being drug out unnecessarily, as far as like just get to the Viltrumites, whatever it's gonna be, just hurry up and get there. That's all. Because the Guardians is like, I don't give a shit about the Immortal or any of them. Just we spent 3 seasons at this point developing Invincible, and he's still developing, trying to find his way, trying to become the superhero that his daddy wants him to be, and he still ain't there. He's still getting his ass kicked every fucking episode.
Yeah.
That's why they don't say Invincible, because he's always getting his ass kicked every episode.
It's rough.
I think one of the challenges for me with Invincible is that given this new AI, I'm seeing Cavill adjacent Omni-Men and in real life, and seeing some of these classic scenes in Invincible and these classic, like the Battle Beast. My God, Battle Beast fighting Homelander was incredible. It's not enough anymore. We're in this overstimulated AI state where it's so cool. Every nerd fantasy of every combination of battle is now possible. And you only need it for 60 seconds, because who would want to watch an hour of Superman fighting Omni-Man? No, you don't need it. But now you can get photorealistic Superman with heat vision, burning into Omni-Man and Viltrumites versus Kryptonians, blah, 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 blah. You can see that pretty much whenever you want. And so do I want to painfully sit through all these episodes unnecessarily padded with exposition? To Mo's point, do I really care why Mark still keeps getting his ass kicked? It's like, show me the shit I want to see and get to it. And then I can consume it. It's like, I'd rather watch an AI created season of One Punch Man than wait another 8 months for some poorly drawn bullshit that
it is badly drawn.
It's
Yeah,
not
it is.
gonna be any better than what AI can do
Yeah.
now.
Tom, did you see One Punch Man versus Homelander? The AI
I did.
one? Yeah, it was
I
great.
did.
It was great.
All of those things. Homelander, and the thing I enjoy most about these Homelander AI matchups is that Homelander's getting his ass kicked most of the time. And that's very gratifying because that's the truth. I haven't seen Homelander versus Brightburn, but I'd love to see Homelander versus Brightburn even, because Brightburn is a fucking beast. So the point is that unless Doomsday is a thing that AI can't do right now. It's too expansive. There's too much stuff going on. It would not be possible. But to give me some of the fights of Invincible, which is basically people getting their faces punched in a lot of really strong blows, a lot of oh my gosh, his body's broken in half. Sure. Okay. I've seen pieces of Omni-Man killing the Guardians as AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, the point is that as we get closer and as fans take the reins of their fandom, God help us if Disney properties go back into public domain again, what could happen? But, we're at a point where people can create what they want to see. And people are losing control over their IPs in a way that should concern them. So do a better job. If you're going to craft quality entertainment for the big screen, craft it. It's not enough to service people who want some stuff and you got to No, you've got to put in the work. And I would rather watch They Will Kill You 5 more times than to suffer through a 2-hour and 45-minute movie that's just overstuffed for the sake of being overstuffed. You got to do a good job and make it worth my time, other than just saying, well, stunt casting of RDJ is going to put butts in the seats. That's a person where they were throwing a lifeline. And now maybe with some of the quality stuff that they put out, maybe that stunt wasn't even necessary. But it's fine. It is what it is. People are clearly going to go see it. I don't know if RDJ is going to pull off the Dr. Doom that I want. I want a Latvian dictator with an accent and all of that. I would have much
we
rather
still don't have a trailer, do we?
No, well, not with
they're
him
dropping
saying
a new Supergirl trailer tomorrow. We still don't have
a real Doomsday trailer.
I don't think you need it. I don't think you need it till
They don't have to.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
No, they don't. No, it's going to come after Spider-Man because they want to divert from Spider-Man at this point.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is I would have felt more confident in Mads Mikkelsen being Dr. Doom. And I know why you could do it.
Agreed.
But Mads Mikkelsen would have killed Dr. Doom. He's got the vanity. He's already played with the scar.
The face, yep.
He was Hannibal Lecter. He's
he can do the accent. He's
the whole package.
Yeah.
But we've seen him in the MCU. We've already seen him in the MCU.
Except for Caecilius. And Caecilius was a bullshit ass. If you can kill art and you don't put your gamble on Mads Mikkelsen, I'm not saying you do. I'm just saying if you cared about giving an audience Doom, Mads is a better person to revive because it was a small role and an inconsequential character that nobody really cared about at all. And you bring him back from the multiverse, and you might even have an excuse that Caecilius was an adherent or something, or that Doom was an adherent.
It doesn't have to be any Caecilius. I mean, he can do variations on his accent, and if you keep him in costume, no one knows who it is. I mean, if we saw the credits and saw it's Mads Mikkelsen, he did Doom great, but we're not seeing his face, so no one can say, hey, that's Caecilius. No.
And you're only seeing Robert Downey Jr.'s face because it's Robert Downey Jr. So the point is that they could have made a different decision, but we've got who we've got, and it'll be interesting to see how they get around him being an Eastern European dictator who grew up in that land. And
yeah, well, I
has
mean,
an iron fist on top of it.
they can't get away of get around that, because in Fantastic Four they established the region and him as the ruler of this Eastern European. So it's kind of like they have to go with it. It's just going
Right.
to be interesting to see how he pulls off this voice, what they
Look,
do.
they
It's going to be a challenge for his
they
acting.
they
Absolutely.
put Robert Downey Jr. simply because I don't think that they thought that they can really move forward without him.
Yeah, they didn't need to kill him in Endgame.
They
No,
really
they didn't.
didn't.
No,
Yeah.
they didn't. I mean, they only decided that using the stones took that toll. That was not in the comics. Anybody who had that gauntlet could do it with no harm at all to themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was snapping a whole bunch of shit away. I mean, it was like his arm never got shriveled, nothing. Now, granted, it was Thanos, but Adam Warlock wielded
Adam
the gauntlet.
Warlock,
I mean,
and he was fine.
Plenty of
Adam
people.
Warlock
Well,
is
Adam
fine.
Warlock is special too. But the point is that anybody who wielded it, it's kind of dumb to think that a gauntlet that gives you unlimited power would necessarily kill you. That's kind of dumb. But it was what it was. If they hadn't done it, nobody would have been upset if Tony Stark lived. Nobody would have been upset if Tony Stark lived.
And I actually think it would have been a better
funeral, but
I think it would have been better because it would have made a better series with Ironheart.
Ironheart.
I think they would have made. I think it would have made a lighter series. They would have went with the first iteration of Ironheart and not the second one. That's a little bit more dark. I really am against the whole concept that they did get rid of Robert Downey Jr. With Iron Man. Like, I think Iron Man is the character that you could have kept around for a long time, especially if you're gonna bring him back.
And look, and I understand the character arc, because they started off with Tony being so selfish, he wouldn't lay down and on the wire, he won't sacrifice for himself. And so at the end, he made the greatest ultimate sacrifice. But he didn't have to die for them to make that point and show the character arc and growth.
I mean, after he did it, Doctor Strange could have definitely been like, "Oh, time zone, already planned for it."
Right. Perfect example.
You know what would have been a better way to deal with loss of Tony? If somehow his daughter was a consequence of what happened.
That's a greater sacrifice.
A greater sacrifice, because that was his thing. Whatever happens, everybody who's here stays, because I'm not losing my daughter. And if somehow in the snap, if something happened, or Thanos killed her or something, and he couldn't bring her back, like because he used the stones and it broke the gauntlet and all the stones fell apart or something.
No, dead is dead. They already established if you die, the stones can't help you. Like, you couldn't bring back Black Widow. They made it clear that the stones were only going to...
I thought she could only not be back because she was the price of the Soul Stone.
No, that's part of it.
Everybody else.
No, but that's why Hawkeye was explaining, no, she's dead. And they made it clear you can only bring back the people who were snapped. So if Thanos killed Stark's daughter, or there was some sort of plot point where, let's say, Thanos bombed Tony's house trying to kill Tony Stark.
And Tony didn't know that his house was bombed. And then he goes and Pepper's holding the shattered body of his daughter.
Right.
That would have been your funeral.
Right.
And then you'd have a really interesting Tony Stark in Iron Man 4.
Right.
Yeah,
because
remember, consumed, enraged.
The original Endgame was supposed to have Captain America's head cut off. I'm being serious. The original script had Thanos cut off his head and then roll his head to Thor and Iron Man. And they said for testing with audiences, it didn't work well. It was too dark. It was too violent.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
That's a horrible idea. That's a horrible
They
idea.
have played. Well, what killing a child is not horrible. I mean,
No.
I
No,
mean,
I'm
but
just-
it's Captain America. Kill the
Nobody
kid.
knew that damn child. I love you 3000. Get the fuck out of here.
Look, like
If that would have been a
that
sacrifice.
would have been a greater sacrifice on all. And look, if Tony would have lived, that would have absolutely gone into the Armor Wars story, where you could have had really Rhodey take off and do Armor Wars, because that's a story where Tony loses
man.
it.
I'm telling you,
gives up everything, and
This
and
is a
all
terrible idea.
the secrets for his armor are stolen. But okay, look, we've digressed the shit out
this
of
was supposed to be a
digression.
short episode. Going into length.
Real quick, Mo, what are you watching?
The second season of Monarch. It is really, really good. It is really, really good, and it's probably the only thing I watch consistently on Apple TV. And we've said it before, and it bears mentioning again. The lensing, the cinematography is cinema level. It's not a TV show. It doesn't look like a TV show. It looks like a movie broken up into 6 different episodes. Thoroughly recommended. And Paradise finished season 2 last night. You have to watch Paradise. You just have to. I can't tell you anything about it. You have to watch the first episode from the first season and go from there. It's going to blow your mind.
Okay. Dr.
Sterling
Bill.
K. Brown.
I see you've got
Yoshi. So I'm
Yoshi.
going to be seeing that this week for sure.
Okay.
It's actually pretty big. It actually came with the cup too. So
that is a big thing.
Yeah,
That's a mad collectible right there.
And it actually, you can't see it, but it does go back all the way to the tail. Like you could put the popcorn all the way back to the tail. Anywho, actually there is an Apple TV show that just came out with Kerry Washington that I thought was really, really interesting. Look, Apple TV is good programming for what you're paying for. I think it's called Imperfect Women. It's a really good show. And then, by the way, for Mankind, I can't believe they still have enough for All Mankind. I can't believe they have a new season, but I did watch it, and so I still encourage you to keep going. I hope this is the last season for All Mankind. I said that last season, but it's still good comparison to what look. Pay for Apple TV. Get rid of Netflix as they increase your Netflix yet again. Pay for Apple TV.
That Tom.
Like a lot of people, I'm watching Paradise. I'm not caught up, but I'm watching it. I'm trying to finish off things that I've started. So Cross is now done. So that's great. And so I'm now segueing into Paradise. I will say one of my regular favorite broadcast television shows that I really watch is High Potential. I really, really like that show. And not for the least of which reasons is that I went to school with one of the lead actors and he's really good in it. But it's a good twist on the procedural. It's a remake of the French show Haute Intellectual Potential.
On Channel 7.
So it's an ABC show. It's on Hulu. You can watch both seasons on Hulu. And It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. She is this extremely bright, genius level intellect. And it turns out that she's able to transform her observational skills into crime solving. And so it kind of has that give and take vibe. Karadec is the straight by the book sort of cop who initially bristles at having this wild card, but then comes to realize her value. And so unlike House, where through 8 or 9 seasons, everybody's like, he's got to be wrong. And it's like, by the end of the show, he's right. He gradually says, this is a valuable person on the team. I don't have a partner. I'm happy to work with her. And there's a little bit of romantic tension, but they're developing that a lot slower than they developed it in the French version of the show. And actually, his character now has a love interest who it was the wife on This Is Us. So if you like that actor and you want to see her back on television again, wearing some lovely clothing, please tune in to High Potential on ABC. Very, very good show, and it's mostly episode in a box. It's a procedural, so they have a couple of 2-episode arcs, but most of it is simply a murder show. And this season they have introduced a recurring character in Jennifer Jason Leigh, who is this kind of weird, rich, kind of enigmatic person who may or may not have something to do with the main character's husband disappearing.
Yeah, she was on Atypical, if you've watched that on Netflix.
Yeah, she's done a couple of things, but a lot of people will recognize her from It's Always Sunny.
I just watched this movie called 40 Acres.
Oh you finally saw it.
Yo.
Right?
Like 40 Acres. I have no idea why this film fell so far under the radar to be so effing good.
I saw it as one of those sight unseens. Oh crap.
Wow.
I had a sight unseen I was supposed to see tonight.
It was yeah.
Oh man, look.
But yeah, I saw 40 Acres. Unseen, and wow. I have enjoyed, absent that crappy Netflix movie with the bomb on the plane thing. I have enjoyed her in everything she's ever done. Devil It's Due or whatever that thing.
You just got cast in X-Files.
Yep. She's the lead female in X-Files. So I can't wait. And with her and Coogler, I'm sure it's going to be epic.
She gives so much to the screen. I mean, man. I walked out, I turned that movie off. It was like, brah fucking vote. She was stellar from beginning to end. It is a tight, insanely good story. So well acted, and I watch out because it's like today is my brother's birthday, and him and his girl came over, and so the whole family's sitting there watching this, and we're like, now you see, talking to the kids like, see, when I tell you do something, you do it, and this is why. There are so many less. I was like, this film is a straight manuscript for kids paying attention and doing what they're supposed to be done. Look, this film is absolutely stellar. If you have not seen 40 Acres, I promise you will love this film, especially for the climate that we're in right now, and where things could potentially be going. It's an apocalyptic story of a different kind, but wow, no zombies, just people. Once again, people are the biggest problem in any situation, and what ends up happening to the world and this slice of the world that we see, riveting. Absolutely. And then I've also gone back and started watching The Expanse. I haven't watched The Expanse since like the first run. And so going back now, it's like I'm watching it again, and like I'm actually surprised myself, like, wait, I don't remember that happening. The Expanse, still, it is one of the best sci-fi series ever done. And watching it again right now, all these years later, and reliving it, I'm like, fuck yeah, this Expanse.
Koala, the actress who plays Naomi Nagata on The Expanse,
yes,
is in season 2 of Monarch.
I saw her in the end of season 1. I was like, what? Yeah. I was like, wait, the homegirl who runs the big
runs Monarch.
Yes, basically, yeah.
Yes.
And are we now getting Godzilla finally? Is that Godzilla or is that a Godzilla-ish?
Yes. I don't want to give away too much. Yes.
Okay, all right. I'm about to watch it. Okay.
But I know it finally has. When I finally caught up to Monarch, I was like, and now I gotta wait a week. Like, no, what?
They had Godzilla in season 1, and there's some shit that's gonna happen in season 2.
But
okay. All right. I'm with it. At the hour and a half mark, it's been a fantastic show. Absolutely loved every minute of it. I'm about to head to the oven and start baking some crow pie while I finish watching The Expanse and get ready for some Monarch, because I'm on spring break. I'm on spring break,
Because it
so
ain't
I
gonna
got
be
a
us.
whole week to catch up on shit. I'm finna
Well, we've got
catch
this is a
up.
December conversation, so the crow can wait.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. But you know, I want to perfect my recipe. I don't want them choking on it.
Okay. Well, for you to eat. Okay.
We shall see.
Yeah, man. Take us out, Dr. Liz.
Good night, everyone.
Mo Kelly.
Is this your king? Is this your king?
Cunningham.
Where is my Brandon Lee suit?
Excelsior.